Hey guys, Video Fletcher, and this is a different video. As you know, I usually give you tips and tricks, but I just want to talk about patch news. If there's news to come out in Gears of War that I think is relevant, I give you the news, and I think you guys have appreciated that along the way. But this one I wanted to talk about is Title Update 4, or TU4. When people talk about games having TUs, it means it's just basically been updated. Gears of War 2 had 6, people thought that was a lot, and we're already heading into the 4th one for Gears of War 3. Now it's different because Gears of War 2 wasn't really addressing game balance, it wasn't addressing mechanics, it was purely just trying 6 updates to fix the game, and they didn't even manage that. Where Gears of War 3 is pretty much spot on, but there still are a few niggles that I just wanted to hear your opinions on. Also, if you've missed it, there is episode 38, which is a really good gameplay on Academy, and people have said that when they watched that it really improved their Academy map strats, so I hope you'll enjoy that. And also, I may be heading on to Machinima, or, well, me not going on to Machinima, but me getting partnered by Machinima. So if we could, be really positive on my videos, that would help me a lot. So it shows that my series and my channel's kind of worth going on there. I haven't finalised it or anything. I need to do a few things, but I think I will be going on there. So if you're looking forward to that and seeing what content I bring, then I hope you're basically looking forward to it. But Title Update 4 news. I was going to do this in a very organised list and have examples, but when I've tried to capture examples, it's really hard to get this specific example of what you're trying to show, and then if you show an example that's a little bit different to what you're saying, people get confused. So, I've got a couple of examples saved up, but anyway, I'll just get into the things that I think need fixing or could be improved. I don't want to bang on or beat a dead horse about it. Games have glitches. The top games have glitches. Every game will have glitches. If you've ever tried to make a game yourself, you'll understand how temperamental it is, because there's so much coding to go on. That the slightest random thing that you may think that doesn't affect anything, it does. So I'll jump into the first one that's a niggle. It's not game breaking, but it's surely a niggle. And that's what we're trying to do, I think, in these last title updates, is iron out these problems. Is when people get down, they can blow up a grenade. I fully expected this to be a problem when it was announced before the beta. It was a bit annoying in the beta, but it seems to be even worse currently with the state of the connections, but I'll get onto that. So I have an example that you've just seen, and the problem with it is that, yes, you can down them, and if they've had a grenade out, then fair enough. If they've chosen to take their grenade out and blow you up, then, they deserve a kill. Even though it's cheap, it's almost like second chance, But the idea of it doesn't work. The idea behind it is, I've been shot at, as I'm going down, I've pulled out my grenade, and then he's come up to kill me, and we've blown each other up. When in theory, as you're watching this clip loop, which I'm sure is very annoying, but if it was in a scrim or anything, if you're trying to win, and you push somebody from the side that has a grenade out and they have no clue that you're there, and they get downed and they instantly pull that trigger, half of the time they haven't even gone down, and they're pulling the trigger, and there is no timer on the grenade. There's the grenade fuse time is short already, but there's no timer on something that rewards you for dying. You can't get out the way of it, and if it's execution in the scrim and they have grenades out, if you can't snipe the head off, then you can't get close to them, and you have to let them get back up. I've had that myself, where we've actually had the last guy down, we've had to let him get back up because he's had grenades in his hand, because if you get close, the idea behind it should be that you can walk up to him, then you hear the fuse pull, and then you back off, and then it goes beep beep beep, and then it blows up, and he's dead. The fact is, you edge up to him and bang, you're just instantly dead and you can't do anything about it. So he can just sit there and wait for you to come up to him. The next one, like I say, is grenade fuse times. They've changed since the beta. I'm not quite sure why they changed. Nobody appeared to have a problem when I was looking on the forums when they asked for beta feedback. I never saw once that grenades were were too hard to use, or they struggled with them. I never found anything like that. In the beta, if someone tagged a grenade on the floor, or on the wall, if they just was a tagged grenade and you walked past it again, you'd hear the click of the grenade, it would beep 2 times or 3, and then, you blew up. But with 2 or 3 beeps, you had a chance to run out the way. So if you were sprinting, you could sprint past tagged grenades. I do think the only way you should get killed by a tagged grenade is if you walk in and you just walk into it and fail to react. I think if you're sprinting around the map, a tagged grenade shouldn't kill you. Also, again, the frag radius is very large. It's something that I think should be looked into. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but those are my thoughts on the grenades, as well as the ink stun. Along with it having a massive radius, it's inconsistent. It doesn't always stun, and it also doesn't always stun from the same range. Rank resets obviously is a priority, but you can make backups, which I have a video on, and if you go on the forums, they are now basically asking you every possible detail. What DLC you're on, what mode were you in, what exactly were you doing, what chapter, how many people were you playing with, were you in an Xbox Live party, do you have silver, do you have gold, were you in a local, how many medals, etc. So they're trying to find out what triggers it to reset. So if you have been reset, go and post on there. I'll put a link where you can post. The next thing, which has been implemented into the game purposely, that a lot of people thought were a glitch, is the sniper kind of slash hammer burst aiming at the floor. I thought, honestly, I did think this was a glitch. I don't think there was any way that you could kind of justify when you're scoped near a wall that it aims at the floor. He said it was purposely put in there, but if it was purposely put in there to say stop you getting an angle that wasn't possible, you can pretty much shoot through any wall in Gears of War if you know how. And Gears of War is always about funny angles. It's just the way the cover works, and you can't really stop that. And I think that it should just simply block the scope from being used. It should just flash and not let you scope in, rather than making you look at the floor. Because the amount of times you've just about lined up your headshot, you press that scope button, and you're looking at the floor, it's a little bit annoying. And if it is purposely implemented into the game, I think it could be removed, and it should be. Weapon changes. Stopping power was removed from the Retro Lancer and the Hammer Burst. That's a good move. That's a real positive move, showing that they're trying to quicken the pace. And the Retro Lancer is still ridiculously strong. If you walk into that, you're going down. But it does help you when they're just that little bit out of range and you get clipped by 2 or 3 bullets. You then have that chance to get away, rather than being slowed down and then the rest of the bullets coming in and hitting you. So it does give you a big chance to get away, which is nice. And it's not about nerfing rifles, it's about making them balanced. They should all play a role. I think the Hammer Burst should be, if it had to have, say, a perk, it should be more dangerous from afar when using the scope, less effective when close. The Lancer, again, should be your all-around rifle, and the Retro should just purely be up in your face kind of thing. The Lancer, again, it should remove the stopping power. If you've removed it off a so-called semi-automatic rifle with a hammer burst, you should take it off your automatic one. As well, the Lancer has a head modifier, so if you shoot people in the head, they go down quicker. That with actives and stopping power, it's really, really fast to down you. I mean, if you're accurate with it, you can get somebody down in a click of a fingers. So again, I would personally remove stopping power from all the rifles, see how that plays out, and then if the Lancer still appears to be really overpowered, then just drop the either clip size or the damage output, or make it back to the way it was in Gears 1, where instead of having a slow fire rate and high damage output, it was more of a fast fire rate, and you had to hit a lot of bullets. I think those are mainly the issues that have. Again, I've talked about the inks, the grenades, the connections, which I want to talk about just very briefly. The connections apparently will be fixed in Title Update 4, and it's because of the whole You know, if you don't have the DLC, you can't play on servers. So I reckon the game's getting confused, and it's never putting people on servers. I've got a clip there of somebody taking a point blank like it's nothing, and that's really not rare. I mean, that happens every single game, pretty much every round. When somebody you think should die, they don't die. So again, connections, inks, frags, the sniper little glitch, the reset, the strange ones that have arrived, such as the Cantus. If you play as the Savage Cantus or the Cantus, and you go into a private match, and you hard aim out of cover, and shoot, and keep hold of your left trigger, even if you've kept hold of your left trigger, your character will duck back into cover. It doesn't really affect gameplay, but again, I'm sure there are lots of other little glitches that arise from other patches, and it's very difficult to fix glitches, so you know, you've got to understand they can't just fix them like that. I don't want to, go on about it too much. I think those are the main things. Again, the snub pistol randomly getting capped is a little bit frustrating. Again, character hitboxes are changing. They should have been the same. They said they were, and then they announced that they weren't. That's all I've got to say. And maybe when you're playing Horde and the host migrates, and then you can't connect to the host, and you just lose all your progress. But yeah, I think that's pretty much covered what I think should be in Title Update 4. If you agree with it, then drop a like. And I'd be interested to hear your opinions on what you think should be in Title Update 4. Do you really like the game as it is? Have you run into any inconsistencies? Basically, what do you think? Just drop a comment. I'm going to head off now, and peace.